Welcome back to episode 147 of the ATD Baseball Podcast. We have made it. It is time for October baseball. The regular season is done. We've gotten the garbage teams out of the way. And now we have made it to the final 12 teams that are left standing. But before we get into that, we will kind of like put a bow on the regular season. There's been some managerial firings that have happened already. Some guys that are keeping their jobs. So we will touch upon um, some of that and give our final, real quick award predictions because, of course, these MVPs awards are going to go right down to the finish, it looks like, in terms of voting. But before we get into that, and of course, we're going to give our wildcard previews in just a moment here. But and predictions. But before we get into that, Kyle, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. This is a day that you circle on the calendar. Well, yesterday I should
Well, I
say.
thought I was gonna have. I thought I was gonna have the week off. To be honest with you,
It
I
was
was
it was
circling
wishful.
this Saturday.
It was wishful thinking for us too. But both of our teams are going to be playing in the wild card series. All three teams of that we follow in ATD is in the postseason this year. One is better than the two, so congrats to Mikey. But overall, man, I'm doing good. Like I said, this is a day that we look forward to. Just like spring training, when pitchers and catchers report, that fall air is back, man, and we get some postseason baseball, which is some of the greatest memories of my entire life. So I'm excited for another postseason. Hopefully my Yankees can continue what they're doing. But real quick before I ask you how you're doing, I want to give a shout out to your Los Angeles Dodgers. That pitching staff held
Yes,
it down,
yes.
man. Aaron Judge is still your AL home run king. So thank you to the Dodgers pitching staff. But overall, man, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Feel a lot better than I did last week, of course. So just in time for me to go back to Dodger Stadium tomorrow. And yeah, here we go, postseason. I really liked what I saw out of the Dodgers this week. Of course, they had an ugly loss Tuesday night with their bullpen and blowing it again, which happened the next night. But then the bullpen figured it out how to get a win, and then they clinched the division Thursday. As you saw my video, I was happy, but not over the moon about it. And then the Dodgers, even though they had nothing to play for this weekend, and neither did Seattle, swept the Seattle Mariners, and their bullpen got back on track just a little bit. Again, I know these teams, these three games did not mean anything. They weren't playing for anything, but still, this bullpen has been so up and down and really down the last couple months that they needed something to feel good about going into October, and that was pretty good. And um, as we approach the postseason, I am not ready to give. I am not ready to give this up. I just want to make that very clear. I want this to stay with me and stay with my baseball team. So, I've been looking at it a lot more in the last couple weeks because I understand that there's a chance that, hey, this might not be yours in a couple weeks. But I hope that this can stay home with me, and I hope I can get another one to add to the collection here in a couple weeks. But um, every team is playing for this beautiful shiny trophy here. There's 12 teams left, and I'm just happy my team is part of it. It sucks that we got to be in the wild card series, but what can you do? What can you do? Can't complain about it now. So yeah, other than that, doing extremely well, and I'm not nervous yet. But I think once I go to bed tonight, start thinking of the horrible things that I usually do before I go to bed at night, and then I'll wake up tomorrow, start thinking about the games. Then I'll be a little bit nervous. But for right now, I'm cool, calm, and collected. So that's very good. Um, Also, too, I wanted to mention this. I want to mention this to you because you mentioned it before we started recording, and of course, I'm always looking for a good joke because I need to amuse myself. So, you had mentioned before we press recorded that you have a little friend with you now. You got a cat. You got a little
Sure.
cat, and it seems like this cat follows you around and doesn't want to leave your side.
Absolutely.
Well, here's what I'll say to that, Kyle. Stop playing with that pussy. Leave the pussy alone. Leave the pussy alone. Stop playing with it. That's all I
Absolutely.
have to say.
No, I get it completely. My mind should be locked in on the postseason right now, on my New
Not
York
pussy.
Yankees.
Yes.
Yeah, not at all.
Yes. Come on. We got October baseball here. Get your
Absolutely.
mind in the correct headspace here.
I man, I'm telling you, man, just my priorities have been shifted a little bit, and I got to lock in. Today's an off day for everybody. We get to calm down a little bit, and I got to lock back in. And I think that's going to happen tonight.
That's
Just like
good.
you, when you settle down tonight and you start thinking about tomorrow. That's yeah, I got to lock back in, man.
The pussy will always be there, Kyle. Don't worry. It'll always be there for you. But this is once a year. This is once a year.
I'm a
This
married man.
remember. Yes. Yes, exactly. Yes. Remember we had this conversation at the end of last year.
Yes,
This is forever right here. This is forever. This is forever.
definitely, absolutely.
All right, now that we're loosened up here, let's get into this. We've got wild card series matchups that we are going to preview a little bit, and of course, give our predictions. Even though if you have checked our Instagram account, our predictions are already out. Some agree with ours, some don't. Too bad. That's my opinion. Um, so let's start here. I guess we'll start with the American League. We'll start with the now. Listen, all these series are very compelling to me, but um, I think in just terms of the viewership, I think there's and because it's in the morning too, a lot of people are working. We'll start with the Tigers and the Guardians. So of course we know the story with the Tigers had a big collapse at the end of the season. I texted you guys in the group chat that I didn't feel like the Tigers deserved to be there. I'm like, if you're gonna blow a 15.5 game lead like that, I just don't think you deserve to be in the postseason. But they were still able to rebound in the final week, even though they had lost the final series of the season last week against the Guardians, but they still were able to, win some games in Boston that they had to win, eliminate the Astros, and get into the postseason. But instead of having one of the best records in baseball and winning the division and have the series at home, now you've got to go back to Cleveland and you have to play now in against a Guardians team that feels very good about themselves right now, as they should, as they
Mhm.
should. Um, so um, I'm very excited to see this series. Obviously, Tarek Schoolball going tomorrow, but if you've been watching Guardians Tigers the last couple weeks, especially, the Guardians have shown that Tarek Schoolball is not invincible. He's
Mhm.
not, and we've seen this a lot of times too. When you see the same people over and over again, they're gonna figure you out. And I think the Guardians have figured something out with Tarek Schoolball here, and that's why my prediction was Guardians in two. I just think the bad mojo that happened with the Tigers is going to continue into the postseason. I think they're gonna. I don't think the Tigers are going to win a game here. You know, for entertainment purposes, of course, I want a game three Thursday. Just for the drama. But I just think the Guardians are playing too well right now, and yeah, you made it into the postseason, but I don't think Detroit has gonna recover from that collapse. I think it's been too much. So I'm going Guardians in two.
Yeah, I'm piggybacking, man. Guardians and two for me. I think they've seen too much of Tarek Skubal. A couple of months ago, and I mean even a couple of weeks ago, man, I would have said Tarek Skubal going game one. That's got to be Detroit, right? Well, you said it perfectly. Guardians have figured him out, and unfortunately, I don't think Tarek Skubal going game one means much. Not against this Guardians team. This team just looks good, man. I mean, this is a team that I am so glad that they got to go through two teams if, and that's a big if, they do meet the Yankees in the postseason. So there is a chance the Yankees see this team, but not for the foreseeable future, not for a couple of weeks. So for me personally, being a Yankee fan, and that's hoping the Yankees take care of their own business. I'm not just, I'm not saying it's a lock, but for the purposes of the bracket, I'm glad they're on the other side, man, because this is a team I do not want to play right now. And, you know, I'm taking the Guardians in two. This is arguably, if not the hottest team in baseball right now. And what a perfect time to start the postseason. Detroit, I think you just fell apart. You had a phenomenal season. But I'm chalking them up, man. I really am. This is probably my most confident pick out of all four of the wild card
Ooh,
series.
wow. Okay.
I think so, man. This Guardians team. I mean, it's an AL Central foe that you're facing, and the collapse that the Tigers had. Um, I don't think it's something that they can overcome. So I'm taking the Guardians in two, and for the purposes of getting the entire ATD team here, Mikey took the Detroit Tigers in three. I don't know the backstory, haven't heard much, but he has the Tigers in three.
Yeah, there you go. Um, and that crowd's going to be really into it because again, they thought their season was over at the beginning of this month, and now they're
Yeah.
getting potentially 2 games or 3 games at home. That's
Mhm.
again, I think there's just too much to overcome here with this Tigers team that, like I said, melted in the last month of the season.
Yeah.
Um, we'll go to the other National League series next because I want to save our two teams for last year. Um, Padres, Cubs,
Mhm.
and this series I think this is gonna be the best series out of the four. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Yeah.
You have these two teams that are they've had weird seasons. Like
Mhm.
the Padres have had their lows, the Cubs have had their lows, but then earlier this season it looked like the Cubs were one of the best teams in baseball. Obviously, the Padres were going back and forth with the Dodgers for the West all season long, and if this is a good collision course, and it's I'm telling you right now, it's gonna suck for one team that their season is gonna end this week.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate thing with this, because these two teams have played good baseball and they have good guys and they have good players on their team. Um, I am very interested to see how the series plays out, and I'm so glad. And listen, I don't care what anybody says. I'm so glad the Padres are not on my side of the bracket this year. You know, I don't care what anyone says. I'm not falling for this. Um, like I said, I think this is going to be the best series out of the three. Um, I did say San Diego in three. I said in three because this pitching is like this pitching for San Diego. They're gonna throw out Nick Pavetta, Dylan Cease, and if they have to get to a winner take all game three, it's gonna be you, Darvish. Their starting pitching is a little concerning for me. You know, the Cubs are gonna go with um, I think Matthew Boyd is pitching tomorrow.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, Matthew Boyd has just been announced tomorrow, and they still have TBD and TBD for the next few days. I'm sure Imanaga will be in there somehow, some way. But um, yeah, I'm going Padres in three. I understand. The series is in Chicago, but there's too many veteran guys on this Padre team that have been there, done that before. Tatis, Machado, Rise. I'm looking for a big series from a lot of their big guys, and I think they're just going to be too much for the Chicago Cubs, and I think the Padres are going to go to Milwaukee. Padres in three.
Yeah, I'm also picking the Padres in three. I would say in two, but I like the pitching for the Cubs tomorrow. I do.
Yeah,
Matthew Boyd, man, what a story. Seriously, and this is a little bit of a sidetrack. If you haven't been following Cubs baseball or honestly like any of the storylines this year, and you're just like, oh, October's here, let's get into it. Look up 2025 Matthew Boyd. Okay, pitched to a sub three ERA. Dude is just, I mean, out of nowhere. And I think he's going to take that into tomorrow, and I think the Cubs are going to take Game One. After that, I think the veterans are going to come in and kind of like what you said. I like the whole overall team of the Padres more, and I think that's why I'm taking the Padres in three. And the bullpen too. I mean that Padres
yeah,
bullpen has showed a lot. And Robert Suarez, who finished second in saves this season, and of course Mason Miller out of the back end of that bullpen. That's a hell of a 1-2 combo that I think is going to carry them throughout the postseason. So yeah, I'm taking the Padres in three here. Mikey, he has the Cubs in three, and again, that's his pick. I don't know the explanation behind it, but that's our three picks. And for to put a bow on it, yeah, Padres in three for me. I don't see any other way for that to go. So
There's gonna be a lot of. I think there's gonna be a lot of runs scored in this series. I really think that. I again, I'll double down here too. I think this is gonna be the highest scoring series of any of the four.
hmm and I could totally see that, and I think this is going to be a very exciting series. Also, too, a big reason why I picked the Padres over the Cubs is what kind of Kyle Tucker are we going to get here into this series? Now, that's a crazy question to be asking because Kyle Tucker, I mean, raw talent wise, he's one of the best in baseball, but contract year.
Just came back from injury too.
Just came back from injury. He's kind of had that up and down season ever since I would say like July, maybe like All-Star break. That's when things started looking a little wary for him. So I don't know what kind of Kyle Tucker we're gonna get. I mean, I know what kind of say Suzuki, Shota Imanaga, those type of guys that we're gonna get. But when it comes to Kyle Tucker, there's just too big of a question mark for me going into the postseason. So yeah, Padres in three.
Yeah. All right. Now, of course, we got our teams now.
hmm
Uh, and we'll start with the Dodgers. We'll give the best rivalry in the sport. They'll go last.
Respect. There we go.
Yes, thank you. Dodgers Reds. Listen, I said Dodgers in two, but don't be fooled. I am nervous about this series, and I
I
think a
remember you
lot of and I think yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
you were talking about that last week or the week before when it was either Mets or the Reds that was going up in the air, and I think you had said you'd rather play the Mets.
I'd rather play the Mets because number one, they were god awful for the last 3 months of the season, and they had no starting pitching. They were gonna have to throw two if they're like rookie starters that have barely made any starts in the big leagues. Of course, they didn't make it, and now here comes this Cincinnati Reds team rolling into Dodger Stadium, who had to win games this week just to get in. I
hmm
know the Mets collapsed the last 3 months of the season, but the Reds still had to win some games this
Yeah.
week, and they were able to salvage a series. They were able to take one game against the Pirates, and then they were able to take two out of three from the Cincinnati Reds. Of course, they got some help, but they had to take care of their own business, and they did just that. And now, they've kind of aligned their pitching a little bit, at least for tomorrow. Hunter Green is going tomorrow, and he scares the shit out of me. His last start was a 9 inning shutout against the Cubs. That was his last start, not too long ago. Um, so you know, and again, I'm very nervous because this team had to play well to get in, and now they've made it, and now they're just playing with house money at this point. Like anything they do beyond this is the cherry on top. It just adds to the fun, successful season they had. Um, and of course, the Dodgers are the big heavy favorites and the defending champions. I'm still picking Dodgers in two, but tomorrow scares me because I can definitely see a world where you know Hunter Green mows down the Dodgers. He pitches like 7 innings, and then they get just enough offense to beat the Dodgers at game one, which the offense is not their strong suit. Um, they have good starting pitching and they have a good bullpen too. So, but again, I can see a scenario where the Dodgers are maybe not ready to go tomorrow night. Cincinnati is, and they beat the Dodgers like 3-2 or 4-2 in the first game or something like that. But I can also see the other way where the Reds look completely deer in the headlights and they're down 6-0 after 3 innings tomorrow, and Hunter Green is out of the game in the fourth inning. I could see that too, but um, there's just too much talent with this Dodger team. Um, this team has played a lot better in the last 2.5, 3 weeks of the regular season. That makes me feel confident that that they're going to be ready to go tomorrow. And of course, um, I think there's a part of me that feels, this Dodger team was very underwhelming this year, just in terms of the expectations that we put on them. Um, I think there's a lot of Dodger players in that clubhouse that are very disappointed in themselves that they have to play 2 games this week. I think they're very disappointed. So I really I'm looking for that little anger edge from this Dodger team, and that's why I'm picking Dodgers in 2. So, but it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a lot closer than everybody thinks. I know there's a lot of people that Dodgers in 3. I've even seen a couple Reds in 3, but um, this is going to be a good series, and I think this is going to be a good test for the Dodgers. But I still think they win this series in 2.
Yeah, this was a clean sweep across the board for all three of us, me, you, and Mikey. We all have Dodgers in two. Um,
That's not good.
I for me, yeah, it's I'm just gonna say exactly what you basically just said. Like this Dodger team, I mean, it's hard to bet against them in any situation, and I really don't care what their regular season looked like. I don't care if we had them winning 110 games, and here they are playing in the first week of the postseason. Like I don't care where they're at. It is so hard to bet against the Dodgers. No matter where you are in the postseason, it's hard to bet against them. That lineup is ridiculous. I mean, they have three aces lined up to go in this series alone. And obviously, we had mentioned it before start recording. Shohei's slated to go into a possible game three. You have Snell going game one against Hunter Green, which I think Snell can hold his own against Green, obviously. And then you have Yamamoto game two. I don't I don't necessarily see a world where the Dodgers do lose this series because you have Hunter Green going game one for the Reds. Um, Even if he gives you seven shutout innings, I still like the chances of the Dodgers lineup against the Reds lineup in a late game situation because I'm gonna I'm gonna clarify that Snell giving up too many runs in this game. So unless it's a total collapse from the Los Angeles Dodgers, I don't see him losing this series. So I have Dodgers in two.
And just to kind of continue on with that, uh, I'm very interested to see how their pitching is going to line up after game 1 because obviously Hunter Green is pitching tomorrow, but they also had to use um, another starter yesterday after I forget who started the game yesterday, but um, they had to go to another starter um, to keep the game where it was yesterday. So it kind of handcuffed their rotation a little bit for this week. So I'm wondering how they're gonna do that. Um, yeah, Lodato came out of the bullpen. It was for an inning, but still, um, I'm very interested to see how how the Reds are gonna play this. But yeah, there's too much firepower with this team, and I think the Dodgers are gonna win it. I hope the Dodgers blow this out. I hope the Dodgers have 2 blowouts, and I can have a stress-free week, and I don't have to worry about Thursday. But I one of these games is going to be close. I know it is. So, but Dodgers in 2 at the end of the day, and we're going to Philly. So, uh,
Yeah,
all right,
that that's going to be fun next week. If everything
yeah,
goes we think it will, that's going to be a fun preview for next week. But like I said, that's a different ball game. That's next week. So we still have one more
we
wild
we
card
got to get
series.
Mike in here for that next week if we get Dodgers Phillies.
We do, yeah.
I need to hear him. I need to hear from the Phillies.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to the last series here. Red Sox Yankees. It was very clear when um, Alejandro Kirk hit the grand slam yesterday to pretty much put the division away. Yeah, that we were gonna get this matchup. Uh, Super exciting. This is gonna be super entertaining. Um, I'll make it short and sweet because obviously this is your team. I'm going Yankees in 3. I do think I think the Yankees lose tomorrow. I think the Red Sox get the crochet game tomorrow,
Mhm.
and but I still think the Yankees will get 2 wins here, and they're going to go to Toronto. But um, I mean, you'll go more in you'll go more deep into this. I know you will. Aaron Judge, let's see it. We know how the last couple postseasons have gone.
Hmm.
It's not great. He's had his moments. I'm not saying he hasn't done completely any nothing. He's had his moments, but we
Hmm.
have not seen a stretch of good postseason play from Aaron Judge at the plate.
Hmm.
Tomorrow's your chance to rewrite that and change the narrative. Because if you have a good series, and you out hit, you do what you're supposed to do as a star, and you beat the Red Sox, I think that's going to be a big boost for Aaron Judge, and I would look out. If he has a good series against the Red Sox and they advance, I'd look out because I think Judge is going to break out eventually. He can't hit like this forever in the
Yeah.
postseason. If he does it against the Red Sox and they go to Toronto, look out because this Yankee team might be on a roll here. So Yankees in three.
Yes. I'm also taking the Yankees in three here.
What a
And
surprise!
yes, just before I completely go on a tangent here and forget to mention it, Mikey has the Yankees in two. So me and you are three. Mikey's got him in two. Um, I don't know if they lose tomorrow. I'm going to start off there. They have Max Free going toe to toe with Garrett Crochet. I think that's kind of a wash. I think a lot of people, including myself too, I think I would take Crochet over Freed in a game like that. Um, but this is why I think I'm picking the Yankees. And honestly, I'm gonna say it now. I am glad that the Yankees have to play this wild card series. I am happy that they so part of me, as much as I don't want the Blue Jays to like have their reign and things, I'm glad they do, because I do not want the Yankees having a week off. Not right now. I need this team to continue playing damn near every single day because of the way they've been playing. So all of September, they have turned it on complete. They're on like an 8 game winning streak right now. They've basically almost won out ever since we were talking about who's going to win this division. They won every series leading up to that, and then it just came down to the fact that it was out of their control. Blue Jays won. It is what it is. So, like I said, I am very happy that the Yankees have to play this series. Now, two things here. Number one is I want to look at this lineup that might come out tomorrow. Aaron Boone, okay? From all the projections and every now, there's nothing set in stone, nothing official quite yet, but I think Aaron Boone is getting a little too cute with this lineup because Max Goodman, I believe he writes for the Athletic. He is one of the Yankees' top uh, reporters, and Jack Curry also said this too. So the lineup projected to go tomorrow: Goldschmidt, Judge, Bellinger, Stanton, Ahmed Rosario. Okay, at second base. So there's Jazz. That's one.
Dodgers spring training legend Ahmed
Yes.
Rosario.
And then you have Trent Grisham starting at center field, which I like that part. You're playing Grish. And then you have Volpe, Wells, and Caballero. Okay. So Jazz and Ben Rice. Okay. I don't give a fuck what the analytics say, and I have been a huge, huge advocate for that. Ben Rice needs to be playing. Okay. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Ben Rice at all or if you've been tuning in at all. Ben Rice has had a hell of a year. He's playing like a top 10 hitter in the schemes of WRC plus. He is a top 10 WRC plus this season. Okay. And
Hit a
if I'm
big
not
home run
mistaken,
yesterday.
yes. And if I'm not mistaken, he's higher in WRC plus than Shohei Ohtani. Okay. Now you take that with a grain of salt. I'm not saying Ben Rice is better than Shohei Ohtani, but what I am saying is this kid
What
is
it
on a
sounds like.
fucking he is on a tear right now, man. Okay. In the last 2 weeks, he had like two 4 for 4 games with multiple homers. This kid is just raking right now. You don't sit him because the analytics tell you that Ahmed Rosario went 6 for 9 with a homer against Garrett Crochet. That's ridiculous. Okay. Um, but number two, and then this is going to be my final closing thoughts. I do think that this is the year that Aaron Judge takes off in the postseason. I do. There's a different feeling about this season with him. Um, I mean, he's kind of the underdog right now in terms of the AL MVP voting. I mean, he's got a lot to play for. His stats have been off the charts this season, and he's coming off a skid right now where he's tearing it up, and he's looking like Aaron Judge. And like I said, that's why I kind of like that they have to play in this wild card series. I'm looking for the Yankees 2, 3, and 4 hitter to carry them past this series and continue into the postseason. And 2, 3, and 4 is Aaron Judge, Cody Bellinger, and Giancarlo Stanton. We all know Stanton in October. Cody Bellinger has the October experience. He's won a World Series. And then you have Aaron Judge at the top there, who is AL MVP candidate every single year, an all time great, in my opinion. And I do think that this is the year he takes off and he really shows what he's made of. So, with all that being said, I think Yankees in three, and this is I'm very excited. I am very excited because this Yankee team has reeled me back in. They have, and I'm gonna knock on wood here because I don't want to say too much, but I like what I see out of them, and I'm gonna continue to go a little bit into the recap. But they've been playing very very well, and I just this team has a different feeling, and you kind of mentioned it. Aaron Judge has not performed in the postseason, and look how close the Yankees have gotten over the years. Okay. Just look how close. If Aaron Judge takes off, there's no telling what this team can do. Last year, imagine if he played better against the Dodgers in the World Series. What would have happened? It might have been a different script. Or 2017, or 2018, 2019, 2021. I can continue this all fucking day. Aaron Judge, I do think this season is going to turn it on in the postseason. So, because of all that, Yankees in three, and then we'll deal with the rest later. But that's my prediction.
And the thing that I like about Judge all the time is that he knows he hasn't been good.
Yeah,
He knows he hasn't been good. He's not one of these players at all. Well, it's what are you talking about? Like it's hasn't been all bad. Like yes, it has. Like and I'm glad Aaron Judge every time he faces the music and he knows that he hasn't been good. That's the
absolutely.
thing I like that he knows he hasn't been good. Um,
Class act.
before yes, exactly. And Mr. America, according to Kyle here, Mr. America. So uh, before we get off of this, I have to mention this, and I wanted to send it to you because I know you don't like this guy on Twitter, but um,
Cutter is
Cutter
king.
Cutter is king. He had a very funny tweet that he tweeted yesterday. No, yes, yesterday. Just realized game one of the wild card is on September 30th, so we don't even get October Judge for 1/3 of the series. That was funny. That made me laugh. That made me laugh. I was like, damn, that's true. Tomorrow's not
Listen,
even October 1st yet.
two things on that. Number one, that is very true, and I'm excited about that. And number two, Cutter is king. That dude is, I mean, he's hilarious. And as a Yankee fan, you kind of just have to take it because we have a boatload of people like that too. So I mean, some of the
What's
shit that he
that
comes
Cole
out with, man.
account? Yankee
Yeah,
account?
there. Twitter is hilarious, man. But yeah, no, he's a funny dude. He really is.
All right, there you go. There's our predictions there, and where it's all gonna come true. Everything that we said is gonna happen. So, uh,
We'll see.
yeah. All right. Before we get to our teams, um, let's just go around the carousel a little bit because some managers have gotten the heave ho in the last 12 hours here. I'm talking Bob Melvin in San Francisco. He's out. Rocco Baldelli in Minnesota. He's out. Uh, now, not everybody did lose their jobs. Uh, the Pirates manager, and forgive me, his name's not popping up in my head. He got an extension today. Um, because of he was the interim manager, he got an extension today, and
Don Kelly is
Don
his name.
Kelly, there you go, got an extension. Congratulations to him. Um, and even though the Mets had a horrible second half and they missed the postseason, David Stearns, the Mets GM, said that Carlos Mendoza will be back in 2026. For me, firing Bob Melvin was a bit of a surprise for me in San Francisco. It was only a second season there, and they did play better. Now, They were the one of the best stories in baseball this year. They were in a playoff spot in all the way until June, fell off a bit, and then had a good September, and they fell off in the last 2 weeks. The only reason why, the only sense I can make of the Bob Melvin firing is that Buster Posey's going to try and lure um, Bruce Bochy from Texas to come back. That's
Hmm.
the only thing. To me, this is one of those firings where you just don't fire somebody. You fire somebody knowing you have a backup plan already in your head.
Yeah.
And we've seen so far that Buster Posey is a smart guy. Um, I think he already has a manager in mind that he wants to hire, and I think he's going to act on it quickly. So, um, any other ones you were surprised by? Anything? Any managers?
Yeah.
Any moves?
I do see that Torey Labella will return to Arizona
Yes,
for
that's
his
the other
10th
one.
season. Um, yeah, no, I mean, I was going to touch on Bruce Bochy. A lot of people were talking about retirement too. So I feel that if it's retirement is in his mind, he's got to stay for something that like is like truly like heartfelt. And I feel like that Giants job, man, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Um, but I'm, I guess my biggest not shock, but like comment about all of this is what took so long for the Twins
yeah.
with Adeli. Like I don't understand that. Like I feel like we've been talking about that for quite some time. That his job has just always been safe, but I never understood why. But they finally pulled the plug. I really like that the Mets are bringing back Mendoza. I mean,
He
Carlos
wasn't
Mendoza.
getting fired. He's on the
No,
hot seat going into next season, but he wasn't getting fired.
I'm glad that they're giving him another shot, where it's not just like one of those things where just blame game. Like he means something, and I feel like there's still unfinished business. So he's my guy, and I'm so glad that he still has a job. But yeah, no, it doesn't shock me that managers are already getting fired. It's only a matter of time for some of these guys, but I'm very interested to see what the rest of the offseason looks like when it comes to managers. Especially, you never know with some of these postseason teams. Um, AJ Hinch, maybe not yet, but damn.
There's a
But
rumor
it's
going around that he could go back and take the Astros job again.
yeah, that's also another thing down in Houston. I believe it's Joe Espinoza. Is that his
Yeah,
name? Um, we never know with him. So I'm very excited to see, and obviously we'll keep you guys updated every single week with off-season news and things. But we'll see. That's kind of the biggest takeaway is I don't think this manager stuff is done. I think it's only
no,
the first day, and we'll see where it goes.
I picked San Diego to win the series, so obviously I think they're gonna win. But I wonder if San Diego loses and loses to Chicago. I wonder if they kind of kick the can on um, Mike Schilt a little bit here. You know,
Yeah,
because that would be 2 years in a row now where you've had a disappointing ending to your season after
yeah,
a good regular season. So we'll
absolutely.
see. I don't know. Um, okay, second to last thing before we get to our teams real quick. MVPs. Kyle wants to make his case for Aaron Judge again. So, um, real quick, we'll do one last thing. We'll do one last, and then obviously that's it. MVPs, Cy Youngs, Rookie of the Years, and yeah,
Um, yeah. Sorry, I just got to look up some of these rookies, man.
that's exactly what I was doing too.
It's kind of I'll start on my Cy Young and I'll kind of like slowly um get into it just so I can, kind of kill some time here. So Cy Young in the American League, I believe the top two were Tarek Skubal and Garrett Crochet were the two we were going back and forth on. It's still Skubal. It's kind of an individual reward for me. So um just because the Tigers have been playing like shit. I mean, every fifth day, that doesn't mean much to him. So to me, it's still Turk Screwball. AL MVP, you guys have heard my case, and I've been posting all over my Instagram regarding it. It's Aaron Judge, man. There's two extremely quick stats that I want to say. So, um, sorry, I'm all over the place. Aaron Judge, I believe he's at 53 homers for the year. Cali was Cal Raleigh was 60. So 7 home runs do not make up that much for me. Second is games played. I've been hearing a lot about games played, about how Aaron Judge has missed a lot of games. It's 7 less than Cal Raleigh. Again, there's not much there. And then if I'm not going to go into it, but you guys look at the rest. For me, it's Aaron Judge. He kind of proved that to me over the last 2, 3 weeks. And everybody wants to say history too. Well, Aaron Judge has been making history. He's joined the elite club with 50 plus homers and the batting title. I mean, there's not much for me to say. It's Aaron Judge. Now over to the National League side of things, it's Shohei for me for sure, and Paul Skeens. Now, Rookie of the Year, still have not uh, found the names. Man, I have not been following
Uh,
rookies this year.
Cade Horton in Chicago. He's 11-4. Has an under 270 ERA this year. Has a 1.0 WHIP. Or you can go for Drake Baldwin in Atlanta. Those are
Ah,
the
here.
National League.
Okay, so for me, it's Cade Horton out of Chicago and Nick Kurtz out of
Yep.
Sacramento. Those are my guys.
Yep, we're in sync with that. Cy Young Award, I think it's gonna be Skeens and Schoolball. Crochet's been very good this year, but I think Schoolball, especially now that the Tigers have collapsed here, um, I think they're gonna get. I think those are still your two best pitchers in both leagues. MVP, listen, I'm still giving it to Shohei. Sorry, you know, um, he does both now, and he's actually pretty good at both too. Um,
Mhm.
Again, I'm gonna keep beating this dead horse. The same people that wanted to give Lindor the MVP last year because Shohei didn't play any position on the field are the same people that are trying to make the case for Schwarber this year. Schwarber leads Otani in only two categories: RBIs and home runs, which are very important. Don't get me wrong, but that doesn't tell the full picture either. Shohei leads in every other category, which is on base percentage, batting average, everything else. Shohei, and
So
and by the way, he's pitching extremely well too.
real quick, I just want to, before you give your AL MVP, I just want to make a
I
little
knew,
note.
I knew he was gonna say this.
I
I
just
know
want to
where
make
he's
a little
going with this.
note. Do you know the two categories that Cal Raleigh leads Aaron Judge in? And it's not by
Home
much.
runs and RBIs.
There you go. Anyway, continue.
Uh I'm still giving it to Cal Raleigh this year.
That's fine. Do your thing,
I
man.
know, I know what
It's
a
okay to be wrong every
the
once in a while.
hypocrisy. Oh, okay, yeah, all right, okay, yeah. We'll see what the voters think at the
We
next
will.
month. We'll see. Um, I'm on the side of voter fatigue. Again, a lot like Michael Jordan. He won it so many times that the voters were looking to give it to somebody else. I think this is the same thing. Now, I'm not saying that Judge and it really shouldn't be like that. You give it to the player who has the most value in the league. Um,
Mhm.
I just think the year that Cal Raleigh had, the offensive performance that he had this year, on top of you know um, having to manage a pitching staff as a catcher every single night, I just think that that puts it over the top for me. But
Okay.
um, I'm not going to be disappointed either way, even if Judge wins again. I get it. I completely understand it. But I just think Cal Rawlings going to win it this year.
Okay.
All right then.
I just
It's
had to
gonna.
put that in.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah, it's like I'm making this whole case on why Schwarber can't win MVP, but
It's all good.
then I completely go the opposite way when it's time for.
It's it's different. I mean, Shohei pitches and plays the the field, or I'm sorry, hits. And then, I mean, Cal Raleigh, he's a catcher, and has zero DRS, and Judge has four. And Aaron Judge, he's the captain. I mean, he has to manage an entire team, the biggest market in the world. Yeah, it's all good, man.
Cal Raleigh couldn't even break the record either. What a bum! And he had 5 games to do it. What a
I
bum!
will, I will say to you that
Had
I may
six
have.
games to hit 3 more home runs. What a bum!
I'll leave this here, and then that's it. I will say to you that if Raleigh would have hit, if he would have broke the record, I'll be honest with you, man. I may have chose Raleigh. That's why I was getting a little scared there towards the end. And of course, that's a Yankee record. It belongs to the Yankees. But anyway, yes. So no, I completely get it, and I joke around, but there's a case for both of them, and I understand it. So that's it.
All right, let's get to our teams here, and then we'll call it a day. Um, yeah, you can go first with the Yankees, Kyle. Why not?
Okay. Yeah. So for me, this is going to be short and sweet. Just
Final rallying cry here for the Yankees going
pretty
into the
much, man.
postseason.
This is going to be just short and sweet for me. If I can find their damn schedule. Okay. So they are currently on a one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 game winning streak. They are in the last 2 weeks. They lost 2 games if you count that Monday against Minnesota. They lost 2 games in the last 2 weeks of the season. There's nothing to complain about. I mean, Aaron Judge has been on a tear. Um, the entire lineup is just been clicking. They really have, man. The bullpen's kind of figured it out. That's kind of the one thing that I'm a little shaken up by, um, going into the postseason is the bullpen. But I think overall they have enough pieces in there that can get it done. Pitching staff wise, I mean Max Fried, Carlos Rodon, Cam Schittler, who, and then
Ooh,
Luis Hill, he's been figuring it out a little bit. So obviously, going into this series coming up tomorrow, they have Freed, Rodon, and Schittler is their 1, 2, and 3 for this series. So overall, man, I mean, I cannot complain at all. This team has done exactly what they have needed to, and they're coming into October on a very hot streak, and I can't ask for more. I really can't now, just looking into it, man. Just keep playing the way you are, and please don't disappoint me. I'm bought in. I'm back into it, and you lost me there for a little while, but I'm bought into it, and I'm ready. Yeah, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, I have a lot of faith in this team. I feel very good about this team. You know, I mean, even last year, man, like going into the postseason, I didn't feel this good. Now, again, it's not saying the fact that they're going to make it to where they did last year, or even more, or even less. But at the same time, it's like strictly going off of feelings. I'm very confident in this team, and I feel good. And if everything goes as planned, there's no telling where this team can go. So I'm very excited about the team. I have a lot of faith, and just take care of business, and then just take it one series at a time. Do not look ahead. Just look at the opponent in front of you. Look at that night, and just play ball like the Yankees have been. So overall, recap on the last week. I mean, they've won every game in the last week. I can't. It's not much to say. I mean, yeah, just keep going, and I'm very confident. I feel very good about this Yankees team. So that's my last recap of the regular season, and I'm excited, man. Very excited.
yeah, I am cautiously optimistic going into the postseason this year. I can see a world where the Dodgers shit the bed and lose the series to the Reds, and this disaster season continues. And we have a long off season to figure some stuff out. But then I can also see the other world where, hey, maybe they figured something out with the bullpen in this last week, and maybe having Emmett Sheehan and Glass now piggyback off the starters going into October is going to work. Simple as this. It's this simple. If the Dodgers aren't going to hit, this team isn't going anywhere. Last year, you got contributions out of everybody in your lineup, and you got just enough starting pitching, and your bullpen carried you to a championship. Obviously, this year is going to be different. Your starters are going to have to go deep into these games. And again, if Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, and Shohei Ohtani are not going to show up, this team isn't going anywhere. I'm telling you that right now. We've known this for a couple years now. Um, I'm excited to see Shohei Ohtani on the bump this year. Hopefully, we get that far to where we could see him on the mound because it hasn't been confirmed yet. But it looks like they're trying to save Shohei Ohtani for Game One against the Phillies this Saturday. But who knows? Maybe Dave Roberts will say in an hour or so that he's pitching Game Two or something. I don't know. But um, Dodgers have an opportunity here to do something very unique that no team in baseball has done since the beginning of this century, and no National League team has done since the 70s. Um, and they have an opportunity here to make up for the very disappointing regular season that they had. And I know what again, I know this sounds like the spoiled rich kid again. Disappointing. Your team won 93 games. Yeah, they did,
And the
but
division.
and the division. But this team was projected to win over 100 games, have this week off, and I didn't expect their bullpen to be completely useless this season. Um, Dodgers have an opportunity to make up the rights for the wrongs that they did during the season. Um, Obviously, there's better competition this year than there was last year. You saw it. Once the Dodgers got past the Padres, that was their best competition in terms of somebody that took them to the brink of elimination. Um, this year, there's more competition this year, without question. And um, um, Clayton Kershaw, if you ever needed any more motivation to win it all this year, do it for him. He deserves it. He's taking so much crap from this city, myself included. Um, he deserves to go out on top as a champion again, and it looks like Clayton Kershaw will be a part of it this time. If that happens, he's not going to make the roster in the wild card series. But if the Dodgers do get past this series, um, he will be available and most likely coming out of the bullpen in the next couple series. But um, I'm just taking it one game at a time, one inning at a time. This team still scares me a little bit. That bullpen still concerns me, even though they did have a nice bounce back weekend. Um, Clayton Kershaw, thank you for everything this season. Thank you for a wonderful career. I want to make sure I leave that in there because obviously he's not coming back. And um, yeah, here we go. You know, this is what you play for. This is what I've heard from all the Dodger players when we got to spring training again last year. We're playing not just for the 162, but we're playing for the opportunity to win another championship this year. Well, now it's here. Now it's here. And there were some points during the regular season where I thought the Dodgers looked a little disinterested, in going out there and playing a series against the Rockies in the middle of August in the middle of the week. It's go time now. It's time to now, show it to me again. Show me something. So hopefully the Dodgers we could go on another run here and do something that no National League team has done in over 50 years. And I'll leave you with this, and we'll call it a night. The Reds, the Feds, or my grandma forgot to take her meds. It don't matter. Dodgers in two, damn it. Let's go. Let's go. It all starts tomorrow. Dodger Stadium's going to be rocking tomorrow night. We're 13 wins away from repeating as world champions once again. Our title defense begins tomorrow night, and I'm very excited. Let's go, Dodgers.
Couldn't have said it better.
Want another one? World War III? No, hang on. World Series, World Cup, World War III. It don't matter. Dodgers in five.
It's pretty good. That's pretty good.
All right. Well, Kyle, unless you got anything else, we're gonna call it a day here.
I don't think so, man. Nope.
Well, we'll see you back here next Monday, and I'm telling you right now, I am either gonna be a miserable fuck next week because the Dodgers are done and they got sent home by the Reds, or we'll be getting set for game 2 against the Phillies Monday. We'll see.
It's gonna be
And
it's
we'll
gonna be both of us.
yeah, same thing with you. A week from now the Yankees could be at home or they could
Mhm.
be getting ready or they could be in the middle of their series against the Blue Jays.
Yep,
Enjoy postseason baseball, especially if your team's not in it, because you have nothing to worry about this month. Um,
absolutely.
all right, well, we'll see you in a week. Adios.